All right, guys, let's talk the Lakers. They've won 6 in a row. They play the Rockets tonight. And in fact, as you're watching this, that game probably already happened. I don't know if I jinxed them or not. But they've beaten the Rockets, the Nuggets, the Wolves, the Knicks. For so much of this season, the questions were, can they beat the top teams in the league? Can they match up with them physically? Can they hang defensively? All that. And they didn't have Austin for a while there, but lately the defense has been better. We go to this last one against the Rockets. Again, the first one of the two that have now happened by the time you see this. They just had the Rockets and KD in double team hell. Austin and Hayes double him into a backcourt violation where KD was backing up like crazy the second he saw the double coming. Luka and Austin get the ball out of his hands, and then there was that flagrant call on him with Austin, which in the moment, I mean, yeah, Austin fell, but it didn't feel like it had to be that. But on the replay, I was like, well, he does extend the arm. I don't know. Sometimes Luka's ignoring a Kogi to bring in the extra defender on KD, and then he's getting like rushed because there's multiple guys on him in the paint. Marcus took a charge on, I think it was Shepherd in that second half. Marcus has been taking so many charges lately, I'm starting to fear for the guy's health. On the other side, I mean, as the Rockets' offense was a disaster, especially in the fourth, like the Lakers also couldn't make a shot, but then eventually it was like 2 to the ball on Luka. Marcus makes a corner 3. It felt like a miracle with how their shooting was going in that fourth. Now, if you want to be a hater and you want to say that this Laker defensive stretch is fraudulent, you could just say, yeah, well, the Rockets have had these types of fourth quarters a few times this season. Yeah, true, but I still think the Lakers genuinely made KD and them uncomfortable. Or like LeBron rushing out to Dorian Finney-Smith after the KD doubled, and that becomes a bad pass somewhere else. As I say that, LeBron had a couple of times where he lost Amen backdoor or whatever in that third quarter. We'll talk the Nuggets matchup, but I just want to keep talking about the defense for a little bit. The Wolves game, there was a third quarter stretch there where, look, 2 more Marcus Smart charges, 1 on Ant, 1 on Randall. They did a good job of like sending an extra defender to the side of the floor that Ant was on, but then not getting torched on like a lob pass from Rudy. Like one time Luka was in the right spot on that, or he was kind of in the right spot enough. LaRavia just staying strong in the post on Randall until Marcus can double him. Luka had some nice closeouts, also a steal on Jaden one time. Now, LeBron did not play in that one, similar to the Knicks game as well, and there was a lot of discussion afterwards with those 2 defensive performances of, are they just better on defense without LeBron? I will say, watching that Wolves second half, there was an energy of like, okay, it's Luka, Reeves, and then just everybody else focus on defense and hustle and all that, and like I did feel that a little bit. But they still need LeBron. They need his talent. And yes, LeBron's been taking less shots than Austin lately. Now, once again, if you want to be a hater, if you want to doubt the defense, Ant was just very bad in that Laker game as well. And yeah, the guy took 10 free throws, but for the most part, he just missed a whole bunch of jumpers that he can make, but they also weren't the easiest shots he could take either. And then the Knicks game, they got 7 turnovers out of Brunson, and it just felt like a lot of doubles, and then it wasn't always obvious where the next pass was on a lot of those plays. I do think the Knicks also missed some makeable threes, but still, the effort and the communication, I think, were there on a good amount of plays. So example, like you'll see Luka, Rui, and Reeves in the paint ready for OG on a drive, and then Ayton still can get like a good closeout on Cat, so it's something. Also, 2 more charges drawn by Marcus, 1 on OG that they had to overturn, and then 1 on Josh Hart. I love Marcus, and I'm very happy to see him in games that matter again. If this is closer to an average defense with what this half-court offense can be, of course, with the way Austin's been playing, whether it's just simple pick and rolls, matchup hunting, and then everything Luka is, and then a lower usage LeBron. I mean, if they get enough three-point shooting from the rest of their guys, which I know that's a bit of a question, Luke Kennard's been, well, he actually hasn't shot well from 3 in his last 4, so we'll just see with that. And also, his volume is never going to be what you want it to be from 3. Then we get to the Nuggets game, where some more Marcus praise, huge threes, that big steal on Gordon late. Look, I think by the end it was basically a shootout. Some of that because Aaron Gordon had his sliders on 100, but my big picture feelings with a Nuggets-Lakers matchup in 2026 is the Lakers can put way more pick and roll pressure on the Nuggets defense than they've ever been able to with Luka and Reeves at this level, and then whatever LeBron is still going to give you as a pick and roll guy. You're not going to run a million of those a game, of course. I just remember skip passes from them in that game versus the Nuggets. I also remember an insane Jokic skip pass where I think Luka got caught up in no man's land, but it was also an unreal pass from Jokic. It was one of the best games of the year, of course. And yes, Jamal Murray was bad. I imagine if they see each other in the playoffs, I would pick the Nuggets. I don't think that's disrespectful to the Lakers, but I think they'd have definitely more of a chance than before they had Luka. Nuggets have had their real starting 5 for at least a few games here recently, like 2 in a row. Data Baller has them at a plus 16 net rating for the season. The Jokic, Murray, Gordon, Brown, Cam starting 5. So yeah, now as far as just some Luka talk at the end of this, I do think the anti-Luka stuff from a couple weeks ago now, it all went a bit too aggro. I'm not going to go back and check what I said, but I'm pretty sure I was nicer to Luka than some of the takes I saw. Maybe I'm wrong there. Because all year, the opinions people have of this team have been mostly negative, and yet they kept on having like a 7 or 8 game above 500 record. And it's like, well, why do you think that is? It's because of Luka. Sure, I know for the season his efficiency is not going to match SGA or Jokic's or Giannis's, and to be clear, his efficiency is still elite given everything he does. I would like him to take a few less step-back threes, though. Sometimes it gets real crazy. This game was months ago now, but the game against the Spurs where he was complaining to the refs and the Spurs kept killing them in transition, yes, that was a bad moment. Lately, I think he's been really locked in. Yeah, it's kind of funny that he's one tech away right now anyway. Last thing, DeAndre Ayton. If he's going to have this epiphany moment of "you're not that guy, pal," the Bleacher Report graphic is very funny, and he's really going to embrace being Clint Capella, then that is cool. Although we should remember, Capella at his peak in his mid-20s, he basically averaged about 14 and 14 for 5 years. And yeah, he had Harden and Trey setting him up for baskets, but Ayton's got Luka, so it'd be amazing if he could get to those numbers with that playstyle. I don't know if he can. Anyway, guys, that's it. The Lakers, they look good lately.